Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to another episode of the Exotical Storytime series. Please be sure to email your stories with colorism, texturism, featurism, or pretty girl problems to exoticalsunited@gmail.com. For about the last decade, we have been completely left out of the colorism conversation. We have allowed dark-skinned, unambiguous Black women to talk about their experience. We've given them their space. We've gotten out of their spaces, and now we are creating our own. This channel is very quickly growing. I gained like a few thousand more subscribers in the past month, so be sure to tell your friends and family who are mixed race or they look mixed. So these are Black women who are benefiting from isms like colorism, texturism, and featurism. Be sure to share this channel with them and subscribe if you're new here because we can't all be lying. And a lot of people, they love to stereotype us and say that like, we don't go through anything or, we think we're better and stuff like that. And I've noticed that we have not had a space to talk about our experiences. And so now we finally have our own space. Anyway, let's get into today's story time. This girl says, for some background, my mother is multi-generationally mixed African American, Native, Creole, Black, and Irish. My father is Indo-Trinidadian. Here are some videos of me, and then she showed me what she looks like. She says, in my freshman year of high school, some of my friends, dark-skinned, unambiguous African and African American, were talking down on Indians, saying they stink and their food is disgusting. I told them, you guys know I'm half Indian, right? The food you all beg for during lunch is Indian food my grandmother taught me to cook. One of them replied saying, girl, why you lying? You not mixed. Stop hating yourself. Another said, you look just like us and no one could tell us apart. But my thing is, even if I am Black passing, does that mean I'm not supposed to acknowledge my literal family? Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people like to use Blackness as a humbling tactic for mixed women who are Black passing. I don't consider myself white passing either. I consider myself to be Black passing as well. And I've noticed a lot of people, they want to use that against you as if you're supposed to like look down on it or feel like you're a victim, because I've noticed they tend to associate Blackness with victimhood and being at the bottom. And so by you having confidence in your ancestry, they don't like that because they don't have confidence in their ancestry. So anytime that they come across someone who is confident in their ethnicity and they love their ethnicities, they automatically equate it with anti-Blackness because they're not confident in their Blackness. She says, even if I wasn't mixed at all, why would I sit here with my mouth closed and let some racist, unproductive shit talking? Also, to add, during track season, the same girls saying I look like them would compare my hair, 4A to 3C, to theirs, 4C, and try to literally in real time convince themselves that we shared the same hair type by showing photos of their hair wet and damaged. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, so if our hair looks exactly the same, why are you asking me how I styled my hair and asking for exact hairbrushes, gels, conditioners, etc.? Yes, I've noticed that a lot of unambiguous women, they do tend to fetishize or kind of pedestalize hair types 4A and above. I have definitely noticed a pattern with that. She says, after the hair conversation, a girl complimented my eyes, which are a light brown, and one of my teammates jumped in saying, it's only because my eyes are in the light and nobody cares. I just wonder why people are so focused on trying to convince myself and others my features are not my features. Yes, I've noticed that a lot of women have an obsession with trying to convince you that you don't look like what you know that you are. I've noticed the same pattern with light-skinned women. They will try to tell us, you're not light-skinned. You're not that light-skinned. You're not as light-skinned as Meghan Markle. You're not as light-skinned as Mariah Carey. You're not as light-skinned as Taylor Swift. They will constantly compare your skin tone and your features to other people because they don't like when you have control over your own self-perception. They want to be able to control how you view yourself because a lot of people who have inferiority complexes, they're very externally focused. And so they get their self-esteem or their self-perception from how others view them. And so they want to be able to control your self-perception because they've allowed people to control theirs. But let's continue. She says, one more example of this is when I called myself caramel and my teammates/friends were like, no, you're just as dark as us, and proceeded to pull up a photo of my darkest point during the year, summer, LOL. I said, I don't look like that all year round. And they replied, I'm delusional and self-hating. I decided to start calling myself dark-skinned since everyone around me said I was. When I started calling myself dark-skinned, people went nuts and said I'm not dark-skinned, I don't go through the world as a dark-skinned woman, and I'm insensitive, like I can never win. In college, I had a huge glow-up. I met my best friend, who is a dark-skinned exotical as well. We were always together and got compliments, free food, and rides. One day we were getting ready together for our classes in the bathroom and talked about how much we love our hair, features, and boys. We used the phrases nappy and mixed girl hair, exotic, preference, and foreign. We did not think anyone else was in the bathroom, or we would have used different wording. A girl comes out the stall and gives us a death stare. While washing her hands, she said, "I see why Piggy and Birdie are friends." I'm pretty sure she was referring to our noses. I'm very non-confrontational, but my friend isn't. My friend replied back saying, "What was said? I couldn't hear you." The girl replied, "You mixed bitches think you're so much better than others. Why be at an HBCU when you have this mindset and you're too black as fuck to talk about how anyone looks?" I replied, "You're such a hypocrite. We said nothing wrong about others' appearance, but you, on the other hand, make fun of someone's skin color for praising themselves. That's crazy." The girl replied, "I'm going to be embarrassed of you for being with a bean. My boyfriend is Hispanic and Italian, who sees me as his slave. You could never be loved by a non-black man." Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people, they love to use racism against you. They will say your white family doesn't accept you. If you have a non-black boyfriend or husband, they'll say he still sees you as an N-word, or they'll bring up slavery randomly and say you would have still been a slave, you would have been in the master's bed, you would have been in the house getting raped. And so they want to project that racism trauma onto you because they want you to feel like your blackness others you, because that's how they feel. And I believe that this all stems from jealousy of having a fluid identity, because notice how a lot of unambiguous women in the divestment community, they have to create all of these YouTube videos about how to interact with men of other races, how to interact in non-black spaces. But if you're already part non-black, like if you already have a mixed race background or a mixed upbringing, or maybe you look mixed and so you've naturally been seen as one of them, like if you're around people of different backgrounds, you don't necessarily have to go through 500 YouTube videos just to learn how to interact with other races. But I've noticed some monoracial people are very jealous of that fluid identity, especially when it comes to dating. And so they'll try to project that self-hatred onto you. They want you to feel insecure about your blackness. This girl says, "The fact that a simple conversation about self-love turned into a hostile argument made me realize how women who know their worth and see their beauty will always get attacked because insecure people can't talk about themselves with praise and love." My last story is about a friend, dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman, who was trying to become me. I had a conversation at work. Someone said, "Thank God you're pretty because you're too ditzy to hold down a real job." I tried talking about how people always undermine beautiful women and take away your accomplishments, like you didn't really earn them, your beauty did. She completely ignored what I said and went on a rant about her cousin, who is an exotical, saying, "How dare she call herself black? She's mixed and not mixed like you and me." All I'm thinking about while she's going on a tangent is, why is she so upset that her biracial cousin called herself black and not mixed? It's none of your business. I also thought about how my friend compares herself to me a lot, saying things like, "Oh, we have like the same amount of mixture. My hair is like yours, right? How can I style mine to make it look like your hair? We are the same skin color, dark-skinned goddesses. My eyes look like yours in the light." Sometimes when she says these things, I want to scream, "Just love yourself. Oh my gosh, we are not the same. Stop trying to be me. Your parents are black and the only mix you have is 8% white. She took a DNA test. You do not have the same skin color as me. If you tried my makeup shade, you would look ashy. Our noses aren't the same. Our eyebrows, cheekbones, genetic mix, body, eyes, and hair are not the same." It's hard finding real friends who don't want to be you or get rid of you. This is why my long-lasting friendships tend to be with other exoticals. P.S. A way I got my exotical tax in college was having people pay me to do their natural hair. LOL. It never turned out like mine, but don't hate the player, hate the game. Oh my gosh, yes. I remember doing hair and makeup in college too. But I'm not surprised at all, especially if you are a non-white passing mixed race woman, especially kind of like this black and Indian mix or this Blasian mix. A lot of Blasians are not white passing. And so I love hearing stories from Blasians. By the way, if you have a Blasian background, if you are black and maybe you have like Indian ancestry, you have East Asian ancestry, South Asian ancestry, if you are black with like a Pacific Islander mix, please write in to exoticalsunited@gmail.com, because I would love to have more Blasian stories on this YouTube channel. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comments section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.